Hi, welcome to the She Moves Mountains podcast. This is your host, Kamala Murphy. Thanks for joining us today as we talk about some of the juicy stuff we women experience that makes this life journey truly amazing. You know, the nitty-gritty, the love, the loss, the falling down and rising up, the getting lost and finding our way again. To our hearts, our happiness, and to the awareness that we can and do move mountains. Thank you for joining. Hi, this is Kamala Murphy. Welcome to this episode of the She Moves Mountains podcast. This is actually our first episode of our second season, so I'm really excited. In today's episode, I'd like to speak briefly about the trying times that we will go through in our quest to move mountains. This is the dark nights of the soul, the challenging, uncomfortable, unsettling times where we don't know which end is up, but that are really important for our growth and our calling. Many years ago, I read the book, The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. I'll never forget the first time I picked up the book and read the first line, "Life is difficult." For some reason, reading that line both shocked me and gave me a sense of relief. It was surprising to have it out there so blunt that life is difficult, because that so resonated with what my experience was at the time, that things were not easy, that life was difficult. But it came as kind of a shock too, because for some reason I had grown up with this fantasy that if you do everything right, if you're the good girl and you follow most of the rules, life will be easy. I never really saw in my family a lot of hardship, but that was probably covered over with some addiction and other acting out. So I never really experienced the hardships that my parents actually were going through, or my extended family. So to read "Life is difficult" as the first line of a book was just kind of amazing. And I think a lot of us actually do think that if we're doing everything right, things will be easier. And as much as we might wish that, there are always going to be problems popping up. And we never get rid of problems or challenges. Because at one time in everybody's life, there are periods of sadness or trials or losses, failures, and myriad frustrations. And for those of us who are interested in moving mountains, in living a fuller life, that means we're going to be more open and likely experience more pain. And we're going to be stretched, which is one of the pieces of dark nights of the soul, is that we are being stretched beyond what we thought we were capable of. We're going to be stretched to let go of things that we have held on to dearly. And sometimes this stretching is going to mean that we go into some deep, possibly dark, definitely uncomfortable places. So it's really helpful for us to recognize that as we do the things that are going to move our mountains, we are going to have these. So these dark nights, these periods of trials are a natural part of our process because we're called to be something new. So that means the way we are is going to have to change so that we can be used more fully. I think it's really natural for most of us to want to get out of the darkness as quickly as possible. But we may want to allow ourselves to sort of sink in and surrender to this unknown. Because this unknown that's changing us is really creating something new for us, giving us a new sense of character, a new way of being. So as much as we want to get out of the pain and the discomfort, if we can recognize that these dark nights have important gifts for us, that's going to help us a lot. So stop trying to fight it if you're going through it. Because I think there's a Bible verse that says, "This too shall pass." And it does. Recently, I had an experience. Actually, it's been going on for several months where there's just some unease knowing that there's something more that I'm either supposed to be taking on or yes, I hate the supposed to's, but there's something more that I want to be doing and another way that I want to be living. So the last several months have been a little, I guess, disconcerting. Like nothing is the same as it used to be. I know that was particularly true during the holidays. It's like, this is just very different. And then really recently, I had an experience where I felt like I'd had the rug pulled out from underneath me. There was a gentleman, I'm going to rephrase that. There was a fellow that I had done business with in the past. And we had a contract that was coming due, and I was supposed to be repaid in full. And the time came, and I had to go chase him down to find out what the scoop was. Turns out he didn't have the money and hadn't communicated with me about it. So this felt like such a betrayal. This is someone that I had trusted enough to loan money to and believed that he was good to his word and that if there had been a problem, he would let me know ahead of time. None of that happened. So I felt really betrayed. I recognized I had been sort of depending at a low level on those funds coming in. And for some reason, all of these different aspects of it sent me into a tailspin. It was almost like a slippery slope where I couldn't get my footing again. And I was angry and frustrated and felt powerless, even though I can take some legal remedies. There was something about that betrayal and that lack of integrity and my own expectations. And what I'm troubled to even say is that I was holding the financial piece as not a higher power, but kind of, that was important. That was going to be something that I could count on. And it's ew. At any rate, that's all going to work out, and that's fine. But the important piece for me was this recognition that this dark night, because it was a trial. And I don't think I'm completely through it. I think I'm recognizing that there are a lot of areas in my life where I need to let go of my old stories, let go of some of the things that are in my life. And I notice, okay, a particular uh, thing that I hold on to are my books. I love my books, and it is so hard for me to let go of them. I know that I have a lot of bookshelf space, but I've got too many books, and it's really hard for me to let go of them. I want my books, so they're a safety for me. Um, they're a treasure. Some of them I haven't read or haven't read in a long time and probably won't read, but I'm hanging on to them like they are my saving grace. They will give me a sense of I'm smart enough, right? So this is something that I'm recognizing. I need to let go of these. I need to feel the experience of not having tons of books. You won't be surprised to know that I'm not a big fan of Marie Kondo and her magic of life-changing magic of tidying up, because I haven't been able to get rid of these books. But bit by bit, I just donated a bag the other day. So anyway, back to the dark night of the soul, it is a chance for us to let go of who we have been. We don't want to wallow in the sadness. And there may not actually be sadness. It's just sometimes it just feels like life has no meaning. The things that you've thought were meaningful don't seem as meaningful. You wonder if there are certain things that have a purpose in life anymore. This last experience for me, I wasn't sad. There wasn't a sadness. There were other emotions, but it's really it's been a chance for me to just let go. Again, not wallowing in the emotions, but allowing the process to happen, knowing that the more I can let go, the more the flow gets to happen. There's a knowing that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I won't be in this place forever. There is hope. And the less I resist the changes inside me that are being made, the easier this whole process will be. Because these dark nights really are an opportunity to sort of just allow yourself to fall apart, to be the mush in the chrysalis before the butterfly comes out. We're being created anew as we let go of what we've been holding on to and allow the divine to make something new with our building blocks. So what I think I want to share is that if you are experiencing a dark night or dark period, you aren't alone. That's one of the other things, that it's like sometimes when you're in it, you feel so all alone. So I just want to assure you, you're not. And if you can keep opening up and saying yes to the process, you will make it through. If you are in this place of a dark night and you'd like someone to speak with, I would love to connect with you. I will put a link for scheduling a 15-minute call in the show notes. I'd love to support you in this process, because I know it can be so hard and so painful. But again, you're not alone. So I think that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening in. Sending you love and blessings and peace. Until next time, bye for now. You've been listening to the She Moves Mountains podcast, coming to you every week. If you're a woman who wants to move mountains in your own life, please make sure to subscribe or follow this podcast. And if you've laughed or gotten teary or smiled knowingly, thinking, oh yeah, that's me too, please go ahead and rate the episode with 5 stars. It'll be a feel-good thing to do. Thanks a bunch. Lots of love and blessings to you. This is Kamala signing off. Until next week. Take care.